All right, man. The Miami Dolphins are finally back in training camp, but Tua Tagovailoa still does not have that contract extension that he's been waiting for. Not only him, all Dolphins fans have been waiting every single day this offseason for him to get that extension, but it still has not hit yet. We know that Chris Grier, so is Tua's agent, very difficult with their money. Right now, his market value on SpotRack is $52.6 million per year. So if you multiply that by 5, which is probably the amount of years that he'll have on that extension, it's going to equal 5 years, $263 million. It's it's a lot of money that the Dolphins would be giving to a guy. But at the same time, we know that he's the perfect fit for this organization. He's proved that last year. Not only perfect fit, but he's been able to stay on the field. He's done everything that the Dolphins have asked for, finishing first in almost every single stat. And I don't really care about that playoff game that he lost because, he was able to lead this team to the playoffs. And with all the injuries that we have, no one was expecting us to win that game in that type of weather. But I think it's the guaranteed money that both Grier and Tua's agent are having those difficulties agreeing on. And if we look at the paid quarterbacks that Tua would be joining if he agrees on an extension, we see Trevor Lawrence is making $55 million annually. Jared Goff is making $53 million annually. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson each making $52 million. So Tua definitely wants to be in that conversation. And behind the question of is he going to get paid, is he worth it? And the answer is yes. I already said he's a perfect fit for the Dolphins. We saw that last year, leading almost every single stat in the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks. The Dolphins went 11-6 before they lost those last 2 games. They could have gone 12-5, I believe. But people keep thinking that, if we don't agree to an extension that he won't be playing this upcoming season, but he is under contract. If we don't agree to an extension with him, then he will be playing on that 5th-year option, and we may be in a position to pay him even more money next year. Not only will he ball out and want even more money, which could be $58-60 million annually, but the salary cap is going to increase, which means even more money for Tua. So they may be getting him on a bargain if they can sign him to an extension this offseason. And if they are in a position where they can't agree on a contract extension this offseason or next offseason, the franchise tag for quarterbacks in 2025 is going to be around $42 million, which would very much suck to give to Tua and just give him that 1-year extension that the Giants did with Saquon Barkley. But, going to training camp the past 2 days, the defense has dominated the offense. The offensive line has not looked very good. We haven't heard many good things about that. We know Teron Armstead has not been playing because we need to keep him in bubble wrap before that Week 1 game versus Jacksonville at home. But when it comes to the edge rushers, we know that Shaq Barrett retired a couple days ago, but they did bring back Emmanuel Ogbah, who already had the orange jersey on, meaning that he was player of the day yesterday. So he played well. He played well again today. Same goes for rookies Chop Robinson and Mo Camara, who both played well. I think at a sack each in today's practice, or would be sack because they're not allowed to touch the quarterbacks. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both did their things, had multiple dynamic plays, and we heard that Tyreek Hill had a great catch over Ethan Bonner to end practice, which was a deep ball from Mike White or Skylar Thompson, I forgot who. But speaking of those two quarterbacks, we haven't heard many good things. They've both thrown, I think, multiple picks in each day that we've heard. I think Jordan Poyer had a pick, Saron Neal had a pick, both 2 former Bills, which we love to take from them and then shine with us. I believe Nick Needham also had a pick, same with Elijah Campbell, 2 special teams guys that are looking to bump their way up that cornerback depth chart. But going back to Tua real quick, the Dolphins need to pay him. The Dolphins need him on this roster for the next couple years, and it goes back to the Dolphins' past quarterbacks. We see Ryan Tannehill, we see Matt Moore, we see the Dolphins missing out on guys like Drew Brees in free agency multiple times, where they went with Drew Culpepper instead. So we take in that quarterback history. We haven't really had a guy like Tua who's played this well since, I'm going to say it, Dan Marino. I'm not saying Tua is going to be top 5 quarterback, top 10 NFL quarterback when he ends his career, which he probably won't be. But I'm talking right now, the Dolphins haven't had this type of caliber at quarterback since a guy like Dan Marino. And this is our year to beat the Bills, as they've lost Stephon Diggs, and Trey White and Jordan Poyer, many pieces on the offense and defense. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't be surprised if he's down by week 5. The Patriots are the Patriots. And I know that the AFC is tough in general. We see the AFC North with the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, and then the South with the Titans and the Jaguars, and then the West with, of course, the Chiefs and sure the Chargers. If you really want to throw them out there. But the Dolphins have a really good chance to win this division and host a playoff game, which would keep them from going in the first round to a cold place, Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati. If we go to any of those places in the first round, I don't see them making a run in the postseason. So, going back to what I was saying, this is the Dolphins' year, and I know that Tua is going to be our starting quarterback, but it just sucks not seeing him on that practice field, getting into reps with the team when we know that he's going to be the quarterback this year. And I would love to confirm that the Dolphins are going to get a deal done, but it's when. It's more of a when than if for me, because I believe that the Dolphins are going to get this done. I know that Chris Grier does not like to change his opinion, because when he's guaranteed on a spot that he's staying at, he's going to be staying there. But for a guy like Tua, you're going to have to maybe increase that number. Maybe we can hope that if we increase a bit, his agent can decrease that number. They can find an agreement on the guaranteed money or the money in general, who knows what. But they've got to get it done, man. They've got to get it done. I'm just hyped that training camp is back. We've been able to see some guys make some throws, make some plays out there. And yeah, training camp is open to the public on Sunday. I really hope that we have that contract extension by then. But if not, we will be watching Skylar Thompson and Mike White carve up the defense. Probably not, but we will see. That's in 4 days or so. I'll be there on Sunday and also Tuesday, and then I'll be there for the rest of the couple training camps. But yeah, man, let's really hope that Chris Grier is able to get this done with Tua's agent. But either way, that'll wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.